Hi everybody, I'm back. This is part 4 following on from yesterday's spraying with the Greco GX Fine Finish, the FF. And I explained about the basic setup. Well, today I'll come round, I'll show you. Today I've been actually using it for Otex Aqua priming of woodwork. So what I did, I obviously stripped out the extension bar that I had yesterday, cleaned everything out, and I put the obviously clean shot on the end. I've gone down to a 208 gold spray tip Tritech, and then obviously tweaked it to make sure that I could spray the Otex Aqua. That's neat, that's straight out the tin. Now what I do, you'll see what I've done here. Lidl vegetable bags, brilliant. Got to go to Lidl, they're about 49 pence for two. Ideal when you're using emulsions and obviously finishing paints. So I use one of those as a bit of a filter, because what I didn't tell you yesterday, I don't actually keep a filter in. It's down here. There's a filter in this. I don't put a filter in it, I just let it go straight through. So what I'm doing, I'm filtering with a bag. I've got the mesh filter that's in the bottom, and then I've got the filter actually in the gun. Now I've swapped the white one out. I've got yellow and I've got red filters that go in the gun. Now the red ones are ideal for when you're looking at the orifice size of 08 stroke 010. Sorry, 010. 08 stroke 10, you can use the red. Possibly 10 to 12 on the orifice size, you go to the yellow. But because I'm using a 208, I've gone for the red one. Yeah, it sometimes can clog, but at least it's not clogging too often on your spray tip, because the 8 will pick up any little bits. Hopefully with it being straight out the tin, not been used before, not been wiped back, I shouldn't have too many bits in it, but it's just part of the course. You'll learn to tweak it to get it how you want. But going back to this, what I've done, I've sprayed, this is just one door frame, obviously in the room that we did yesterday. Done a door frame, I'll just quickly show you. Door frame, sills, frames, you see what I've taped up. Done a downstairs toilet, obviously taped up frames. Going a bit quick for you on the camera focus. And the frames that I could get on, obviously skirting, just spin it round. We can't get in the kitchen yet because we're waiting for the electrician. It's a massive house, it's lovely. What's the beauty of this is the floors are being sanded, so we're not too worried about any dust and overspray. But this is like the snug room. I've done all the woodwork in here, and you'll go, yeah, big deal, done all the woodwork. But to me, 40 minutes, not even that. I've done a coat on all the woodwork in that room. I've done the sills in here. I've done the door frame in here, both sides. Front door frame, all the woodwork downstairs in the hall, the toilet, the office door frame, and then obviously that door. Not a lot, but 40 minutes. Obviously sills in here as well. Now, if I'd have been brushing that, how long would it have been? Well, you work it out. I've got a lovely finish on it. They weren't brilliant frames, to be honest. It was, it felt like you'd got vinyl silk on them. So you've got to be careful when you were rubbing it down, and particularly using the Merca. But I must say, for an Otex Aqua grip coat, that is, I'm very pleased with it. Right, we're back onto this, cleaning it out. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the mesh bag out. That can be washed. I'm going to tip out as much of the Otex Aqua into the tub as I possibly can. Obviously, common sense, you reuse it. So either tip it out, or if you feel inclined, just flush it through by pumping it through your gun and obviously back into the tin. But for how much is in there, we can actually just wipe it out. Then once I've wiped it out, I've got some warm water. It's not hot, it's just warm, just lukewarm, because obviously that's going to soften up and dissolve the emulsion of the Otex Aqua. So really, you should be able to wash this out in 3 decent bucketfuls of water. The final bucket, you could put a little bit of fairy liquid into it, soap, just to clean all your hoses out. And then you can put your pump armour in it. But it's quite simple. What we do, we've got the gun, got the tip. we can flush the water through the tip to make sure that that's been cleaned out. And remember yesterday when I was telling you about tweaking the clean shot? Now, because I've obviously had that on, I did get a little bit of a tail in when you triggered off with the gun. Not to worry, I've tweaked it. It was very tight. Use some pliers just to nip it in. I did, if anything, I did have slight tails with this, not a lot, only slightly, which I wanted to keep with the 208 spray tip. So it was a case of just increasing the pressure. I think if you look at, I've kept it on so we could see what pressure we're spraying at. We're just shy of 2000 psi, which, yeah, I'd probably say is a little bit higher than what I'd want. But bearing in mind, I'm using the neat paint through a clean shot, and obviously we've got the red mesh and we've only got a 208. You've got to increase the pressure slightly. We've not got a heated hose. It's only the heat of the underfloor heating that's actually thinned the paint down. But as I was saying yesterday, don't get hung up on your pressures. You can control everything else. If it's 2000 and it sprays nice, don't worry about it. You might find that if you changed your spray tip, obviously go to a 210, you might be dropping it down slightly. You might have been fine thinning it down as well. But that's just trial and error playing with it. For today, I knew that I wanted to use that 208 to try it out for one of the main reasons. So 2000, it sprayed nice. Yeah, I do get a little bit more overspray than using me QT5 HVLP, but for the speed that I've got around today, I probably wouldn't have been as quick with the HVLP. I don't know, I wouldn't. Plus, the benefit of this is a little bit more paint goes on because it is spraying neat. The HVLP, I've got a remote pot. I'll do that in another video. A remote pot. I'm not bothered what anybody says. You still need to thin your paint just to get it through the paint pipe, the paint hose. But for now, we'll call it a day, Alan. We're 7 minutes. I don't like to do too long because it can bore everybody. But yeah, what we're doing, we're taking this out, we're flushing it with water, flush it all the way through. We're going to flush it through, obviously turn your pressure down because we're flushing. Turn your tip one way and then the other so you can get water through your tip as well to clean that out. But don't forget, we're going to open the valve because we need to open it to flush. Once we've done that, strip it all down, strip your mesh out, clean that, make sure there's no bits in there, and you can do a final flush if you want with some more pump armor. Depends how much you want to be cleaning it, because when you're going to use it next, if you're going to be using it soon, which I am, I'm not going to be too worried as long as there's not any paint in the hose. But for now, I think that's it. And anybody who's got any questions about this, there's no problem using a GXff. I've done plenty of ceilings yesterday, and obviously I'm using it on the woodwork to get a nice finish on there. It's a nice little bit of kit, and don't knock it. It's good value as well. So over and out, and don't forget, thumbs up, comments in the box below, and press the bell. Cheerio.